All right. So, Vern, as you prepared your sermon this week about Zacchaeus and Jesus saying that he has come to seek and save the lost, was there anything that was a part of your time of preparation that just was really insightful or interesting, but it didn't make the final cut? It wasn't preached on Sunday that you could share with us now?
Well, one of the things that I touched on a little bit, what I would have loved to touch on more, was when I was studying, was the idea of the restitution that Zacchaeus was willing to make when he realized what God was offering him, his salvation, when he realized he had wronged a bunch of people. In Jewish custom, I was reading Judaism, it was seemingly generous if somebody was willing to give 20% of their possessions. And as we see in the story, Zacchaeus was willing to give 50% of his money to the poor and pay back anybody he's wronged 4 times the amount that he's wronged them. And that would be going back to some of the strictest penalties that we find in the book of Exodus and Leviticus of stealing an animal, or if you were to rustle somebody else's animal, you had to pay that person back 4-fold. I found it impressive that it just spoke of his heart, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of when Paul talks about where your treasures are, where your heart is, or where he talks about, compared to the gospel, he says everything else is rubbish. And here we see a guy in Zacchaeus where now, because of the gospel, those things that once made up his life, his riches, his wealth, his position in life had changed, where now he just saw himself as a steward of those things, that he considered those things rubbish or not as important as the gospel.